the world's biggest video star has been framed.
Oh, no.
What's a cat to do to clear her name?
Ugh, good question.
That's right. Well, from the mastermind behind the book series of Bad Guys comes an explosive new adventure. And joining us now is best-selling author Aaron Blabey to fill us in on more. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Hello, how are you guys?
We're doing
great.
Let's talk about the idea and where it came from to have a flawed female feline as the protagonist in this new book.
Look, for a really long time, I've wanted to do an action comedy with a female character in the center of it, and I was looking for a subject matter that would feel right and feel relevant and feel like something that was worth writing about. And then I've got 2 kids, and I've been watching them over the last few years dealing with social media. They're 15 and 18 now, and I just wanted to do something about how quickly the internet can turn on you. And it just struck me as something that feels incredibly sort of pertinent at this point in history. And I thought that would be if I could somehow wrap that up in something that was a fun adventure, that would be something. And I think it is. I'm really, really proud of Cat on the Run. I think there's something really fun about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on this just a little bit, but, you know, is there a bigger message in this particular book about social media and the fame and kind of the pressures there?
Absolutely. I mean, when I think about the way that I grew up, what am I, 49? I think about when I was growing up, how much easier it was really than what kids deal with today, about having to balance and be so careful while they're dealing with, you know, when they're on Snapchat or when they're just, and the amount of the onslaught of stuff they deal with on TikTok. It's a lot, and it's really complicated and potentially dangerous, and it's all of those things. And I thought, you know, there's no age that is really too young to sort of start just sort of introducing the idea of where you got to be really, you know, you got to be really smart about how you deal with that. And this felt like the perfect vehicle for it.
Yeah, let's dive into this heroine character a little bit. Fill us in on how the fabulously fluffy heroine changes over the course of your story.
Yeah, well, look, I think because Princess, who is accused of, she's the #1 cat video star in the world, she's accused of a crime she didn't commit, has to prove her innocence, but because she's on the run and also really famous, it's a nightmare. And I think that allowed me to do something where, often for this age group, 6 to 12, book series, the characters have an adventure and then they reboot, they have another adventure, they reboot. My stories, because they end on cliffhangers, it allows me to do a long arc for a character where they actually do go on a journey and learn things about themselves. And Princess has all kinds of hidden layers that she didn't know she had, and as an audience we don't know she has at the beginning. And she proves herself to be a rather remarkable cat. And I love that because it allows me to make characters that are like, it's a cat, but make characters that are really human, that have layers and are complicated.
Yeah. And speaking of just that,
yeah.
You know, all of your stuff is really, I'm always chuckling, cracking up, laughing. Why do you think humor is an important element for these young readers?
It's just, it makes them, it engages them and makes, look, I wrote these books specifically for my youngest son, who's 15 now, but when he was 6, he didn't like books, and I was trying to get him to read. So I wrote The Bad Guys to make him laugh. It was that, and I knew that if he was hooked by that, then he might continue on with the story. And then in the story, I could put other things that were a little deeper maybe. So yeah, it's the hook that I use to sort of get kids to want to read. And it's just my silly sense of humor as well. I can't really help it. It's baked in.
It's baked in. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. And for our viewers out there, get your paws on Cat on the Run. What a fun book.
I like how you did that.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Take care.
For sure.